Are you someone who wants to learn how to use AI to basically be your content creation team? Now that's the goal I set out to accomplish in 2026. And I found from spending probably hours online that you can actually use one file that will make all the difference anytime you try to create a piece of content. This could be for your carousels. This could be for your copywriting, for your sales letters, your emails. This honestly can also help you with YouTube videos. Today, I'm gonna show you how I did this with building an Instagram carousel using Claude. It's 100% using Claude, no Canva, no dealing with all these different other AI tools, just one tool, one file, and you don't have to worry about it ever again. But to understand what this file does for you, we need to talk about what is wrong with Claude just in the base case. Like if you just go on there and chat with it, what are the problems that we're dealing with? See, I'm a solo operator. I'm someone who doesn't have a team. And every time I go into Claude, I found that it was amazing at giving me some basic ideas. I'd ask it for carousel prompts and it would write out a script and I could use that for copy and pasting into Canva, for example. But what I wanted is I wanted to be able to just tell it, hey, make me an Instagram carousel. Let's be honest. I would love it if I could just go into Claude, say, hey, this is the topic I want to talk about. Here's some of the basic ideas. Make me a carousel. And it not only writes the words, but it also makes like the actual images themselves. The problem was every time I go in and I try to tell Claude to do something, or ChatGPT or Gemini or any of them, they would always get one of three things wrong. One, the script would be bad. Like if I told it, hey, make an Instagram carousel, it would spend so much time trying to get the visuals right that the script was totally trash and wasn't even worth it. The second thing is they would have really bad visuals, things that didn't make sense to the human eye, things that were, text being too small, or maybe adding these weird pictures that just didn't make sense in the context. And then the third thing was brand. I mean, they could not remember that I like to use certain colors, I like to use certain tones or the way that I write, and it didn't stick with my brand. And so what I realized is that there is one single file that can solve all of those problems. Because it isn't Claude that's making the mistakes, it's that Claude can only operate based on the information it has. So you and I have to get really good at giving it the correct information. It's like writing a recipe for someone who is going to do literally every single step that it says on the recipe. You can't assume that it's gonna understand things outside of the recipe. And that one file or one solution is what's called a skill.md file. Now, all this is like I said before, it's a recipe. It is a step-by-step instruction guide on this is the things that you need to do, and this is the order I want you to do them. And if that file looked really scary, I actually have a questionnaire that you can literally fill out, give to Claude, and then it will make your own for you. So don't even have to worry about it. There's a link in the description. You go ahead and download it and you can start using it today. So if I want to go in there and actually build my own Instagram carousels using a skill file, this is how you do it. So I can go into Claude. An important thing that I learned is going and building a project. Now, if I look at these side tabs, we have projects here. The reason why I like using projects is because you can upload files to that project, and it's going to, every time you chat in there, it's going to look at those files as part of its kind of burned in memory. Like this is the memory specific for that project. So for example, Instagram carousel prompt project, right? So I found another creator and I wanted to test out their carousel prompt. And so I built a skill MD file and my own voice document. These are two files that do two different things, and we're gonna build those today. The first one is the skill MD, right? Which again, if you answer those questions in the link in the description, you can go through and you can get this entire file ready-made for you. It's gonna have your brand, it's gonna have the colors you like, it's gonna have what problems do you solve, it's gonna have who are you, all of that stuff is gonna be built out by answering those questions in the link in the description. The voice document, right? This is where I explain who I am, right? This is like, who Joe is, who does he talk to, the transformation, right? Voice characteristics, like how do I actually talk and communicate? And so once we've built these files, I can put them in a project and forever it remembers my brand, it remembers how I talk, problem solved. The next thing is I want to go through and just show you what it looks like. Build me a carousel, Claude Code and Claude Chat. And it's now gonna read the carousel skill, right, which I've made. That's what this says here. Here's the content brief for your review. So part of my skill is that I have it actually give me the text first before it tries building the visuals, because remember, those are the three things that it messes up. If it tries to do both the script and the visuals, it just doesn't work. And so we go through And this is what it says, right? You've been using Claude wrong. That's the hook. Problem, most people only use the chat. It's like buying a truck and sitting on it. Claude chat answers, blah, blah, blah. So then I can go through and massage this. I can say, hey, I like this. I don't like this. For example, the hook, right? I want the hook to give some indication on a promise that'll be fulfilled by swiping right. So, because right now it's just kind of like, hey, you've been using Claude wrong. Who cares, right? Most people use Claude. Almost nobody uses it right. Yes, so that's a better way to kind of hook you in. It's like, okay, well, it's going to create this question. What is the right way to use it? Now it says everything else stays the same. Reply generate when ready or keep iterating. This is an important part, is that because of my skill file, it's reading it like a recipe. First, it's going to go through and it's actually going to take a look at, this is how I want the carousel, like the script, to be worded. The second part is, now we're actually going to turn it into a visual, and then we're going to edit the visuals. See, the skill file allows you to do one thing at a time rather than Claude just trying to do 10 things all at once without any human input, editing, or anything like that. So I'm gonna keep editing this and then we'll get it ready to go. Okay, so I went through, I massaged it, I gave it this prompt light. So I just said, instead of making an analogy, buying a truck, never go off-roading. Like AI, Claude said, it's like buying a truck and just sitting in it. Maybe the AI thinks that would be like this strong analogy, but for humans, it's kind of like, I don't know, at least when I read it, I was like, huh, right? Whereas when I think of using a truck, it's like buying a truck and then just driving it in the neighborhood. Like you're not hauling stuff with it. You're not going off-roading with it. It's like this unused capacity, right? And so that's kind of, it's like buying a truck and never going off-roading. Claude chat answers questions. Okay, so now I've talked to it. Now I want to do generate, okay? I say generate, and this is exactly what happens. So now it's reading this skill.md file. So like it is going through and it's saying, okay, I need to make the HTML. I need to make the visuals. And now it's going to create the Claude code versus Claude chat Instagram carousel. It's making all of this stuff here. Like that is a lot of things I don't really understand, and that's okay. Like I don't need to know every single detail about the lines of code to use AI to make coding. So as it's going through, I want you to know something. Like this is going for a couple of minutes. And so it takes some time for it to build all of the visuals and all these things. So I can use this time to do something else while this is building in the background. That's the nice thing about this. And because of the skills file that I have, it's giving it instructions every single step along the way. Okay, now it's building. Most people use Claude, almost nobody uses it right, okay? Most people use Claude, but almost nobody has touched Claude code. Claude chat, Claude code. It's like buying a truck and never going off-road, right? So this is now giving me a visual representation of what it would look like. Here's what you're missing, blah, 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 right? Stop asking Claude what to do. Start letting Claude do it. One is a conversation, there's a collaborator. Now here's the thing. I already posted one of these, and it was this same style and format. It didn't perform very well. It didn't do very well. And the reason why is because the first one I can read pretty well. The second one's kind of hard to read. And then again, it's like little text and all these things. It's like trying to be clever. It's the readability is, to me, just not very well. Compared to, let me pull up another one here, which is super easy to read. Very, very not difficult at all. And so here's what I'm going to do. To improve this, I'm going to download this carousel, upload it to my Claude chat and say, hey, here's like some examples. I want to change our visuals to match this. So let's go do that. I'll show you. So a way you can do this is carousel downloader. Put the link, download. I'm going to download first, middle, and end. I'm going to say, give me a mock-up of. I'm going to add files. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now I'm going to tell it to analyze it, and it's going to give me an update. So what it's doing is it's saying, I'm analyzing it. Okay. And it's going to ask me some questions. Okay, so all of my slides I want to match. I want to keep the brand blue, and that's what it's asking. Now it's going to make a minimal design mockup, and then we can decide whether we like it. So just hit slide 5. And here's the thing. Honestly, I think that doesn't look very good. Like if I look at this versus this, like this is nice, clean, looks good. Just doesn't, I look at here what it put out. Kind of rounded text, things are really squished together. Like I'm gonna have to massage this. And so you might be asking yourself, what's the point? I can just go in Canva and make this all manually myself. The thing that I want you to see from this, and the reason why I didn't want this to be like super well edited and like it just puts it out perfectly, is that AI needs iterations. And so that skill file, right? I told it specifically, don't update the skill file, because I don't want it to continue to recreate this. I want to keep refining it until it makes basically like, you know, this is Daniel Priestley, he's awesome, makes basically like his, and then boom, I've built a system, right? I've used this skill MD file. It's going to make it look exactly the way I want it to, with a consistent brand, with a consistent look, and then it'll just go and do it. I can set it up, tell it what to do, and it's done. So I hope from this video you see that there is a lot of back and forth, and it's gonna take some time. But luckily, once it's there, it's done. And that's honestly what I think is gonna make content doable for us who are trying to build content who don't have a team. Is that we are building, like right now I am training my teammate. I'm training my team member, hey, this is how I want you to do it. That doesn't look really good, let's fix it. That doesn't look really good, let's fix it. And if you just stay in the chat and you don't have a memory file or project files that are going to like continually be updated and explain to it what it needs to do, it's gonna forget it every single time. Go ahead and check out the link in the description. You can go ahead and just copy and paste those questions, answer them, put them into Claude and say, hey, I wanna build a skill file to be able to make, you know, my emails, or I wanna be able to make my Instagram carousels. And literally you just go back and forth and chat with it. Hopefully that's been helpful. And remember, you're in the right place.